Hello everyone, welcome to another Barb Stamps video. Today I want to show you how to make this really cool Father's Day card. It uses the Nailed It bundle, which is shown on page 48 of the Occasions catalog. It includes the Nailed It stamp set and the Build It framelets. And I'm also going to be using, from page 47, these Urban Underground embellishments and the Urban Underground Specialty Designer Series paper. The Urban Underground Specialty Designer Series paper has some of these really cool patterns that have some foil accents on them. And so I thought it would be really cool to put a foil ruler in there, some silver embossing, the little screw there. Now, wait till I open it though. Ta-da! Is that not cool? Yeah, I thought you'd think so. So you pop it open and Dad pops up in there, and then you could write your little greeting. I've got some little nails stamped there. Super cool. I know my dad's going to love it. So let's get started and I'll show you how to make it. Like I said, we're going to be using the Nailed It bundle and the Build It framelets. So out of the Nailed It bundle, or Nailed It stamp set, excuse me, I'm going to be using this Happy Father's Day hexagon stamp, and it has a coordinating framelit in the Build It framelit set. So here's the hexagon. And then we're also going to be using this really cool ruler that does, it just embosses. It doesn't cut, it just embosses that ruler image. And you can see that really, really well on this silver foil sheet. So very cool. So for the front of the card, I've got an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of basic black cardstock. And I'm just going to fold that in half to create my card base. Then I've got a 5.25 by 4 piece of Whisper White and a 1.25 by 5.25 piece of this really cool silver accent paper. So I'm just going to take my hexagon printed paper and I'm just going to run some snail along this and add it to the front of the white piece of paper down near the bottom. Make sure it's nice and flush on all sides there. That looks pretty good. And then I need to take a piece of silver foil sheet and emboss it with this ruler. Now I've already done that. All you do is you just lay your ruler piece. I just cut a 1/2 inch by 6 inch strip of silver foil sheet, ran it through the Big Shot, and this is what you get. So you do get some impressions around there from the die. So I'm just going to trim that off, that excess off, and just have it be nice and straight there. Trim off the end, and then I'll trim along this edge as well. So you can see that I didn't get my ruler on there perfectly in the middle. No problem. All right, and to add that to the front of the card, I'm going to use some liquid glue here. Because it's got some embossing bumps on it, and I just find that the liquid glue works a little bit better to stick that down. And now, as I said, my ruler is a little longer than my cardstock, so I'm just going to end up trimming this off. So I'm just butting it up against the Designer Series paper that's already on there. Bring in some paper snips, and I'll just snip that little end right off. Okay, so now we can add this to the front of the card. So the front of the card is not very time consuming at all. Get that centered on there. Okay, and I just like to open up my card and burnish it from the inside, just in case I have stamping on there or any elements that might move when I do that. So press that down a little bit more. Okay, so for our greeting on the front, I've got a piece of basic black cardstock, a Versamark pad. Isn't my Versamark pad beautiful? You know, as ugly as they get, it doesn't seem to matter. They still work great, and they don't transfer any of that color. Just got a scrap piece of basic black here. Ink that up, press that on there. Bring in my silver embossing powder. Just cover that. And you know what? I should have used my embossing buddy, because I think I might have some problems here. Well, looking at it, it's not too bad. I'm going to get a paintbrush. I've just got this paintbrush here, and when I have excess embossing powder, I just brush it off with a paintbrush. And then it doesn't show up when I heat it. Okay, I'm going to go grab my heat tool and I'll be right back. All right, got the heat tool. I'm going to move this powder out of the way so I don't blow it all over the place. Embossing is one of those things that never bores me. It always looks very cool, and I love it when it starts to change. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is just the coolest thing ever. It never, ever gets old. Make sure I get it all. Oh yeah, look at that. So cool. Okay, I'm going to take this over to my Big Shot. I'm going to run this through, crop it, and I'll be right back. All right, here we are. We've got our piece cropped, and we are ready to go. I'm going to add just a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals to the back of this. Close that up so I don't end up sticking my hand in it. All right, couple dimensionals. And now I do want the dimensionals to be at the top and the bottom, just because I feel like they'll sit on the card better that way. Peel those backing pieces off. And I'm just going to line it up with these points on the top of the ruler, like so. And then our final little trick is the Urban Underground embellishments. I just thought one of these little screw heads would just be super cool. Of course, I have no fingernails to get that off, so yeah. Okay, so there's the front of the card. Moving on to the middle, we've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock that is 8 inches. So it's 8 inches by 5¼ inches. I'm going to bring my Stampin' Trimmer in here. I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit for you. Okay, we're zoomed in. So I'm going to slide this edge of my cardstock over to this 1 inch mark on the trimmer. Okay, 1 inch. And I'm going to take my blade and I'm going to place my blade right here. This is the 3/4 inch because here's the 1, here's 3/4, here's half, 1/4, 0. So 1 inch, here's 3/4. I'm going to just push my blade in and push it up. You'll notice, maybe you won't notice, but I'm going to tell you, I've got a strip of like just typing paper, copy paper. It's like a 1/4 inch strip that I cut off of a piece of paper. And I used some glue dots on it and I attached it to my trimmer so that when I'm cutting things, I can see my numbers. The numbers will pop up through that piece of typing paper. So there's a tip for you. You'll thank me later. Okay, other edge, again, 1 inch mark. Bring the blade down to the 3/4 inch, push it in, push it up. So now we have our 3/4 inch cuts, 1 inch from, whoops, we have our 3/4 inch cuts, 1 inch from each edge, okay? Now we're gonna do some scoring. Okay, we've got the edge here, the folded edge. We're gonna move that over to the 3/4 inch mark. And on these trimmers, the track is 0. This little tiny line to the left, or excuse me, right of the track is 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4, okay? So we're at 3/4 inch, and I'm only going to score from this cut line to this cut line. So I'm going to take my scoring blade and I'm going to put it at 1 inch because I went in 1 inch from this edge. So the blade is at 1 inch, okay? And I'm just going to put it at the 1, score it down, score it down, score it down. Then I'm going to come down here to 4¼ inches. Let me scoot that up just a little bit. 4¼ because I went in 1 inch from the 5¼ inch side. So at 4¼ is my other cut line. So 4¼ I'm going to do up. Come back down to 4¼ up and up. Okay, so then we've got a nice score line right in between those two cut lines there. Move the trimmer out of the way. Now you just fold on the score line and fold it back on itself. Then I'm going to zoom out. Okay, then you're going to open it up and you're going to push this piece to the middle, kind of pinch it to get it to start to fold. And then just continue pressing it together, okay? Then you're going to take your bone folder and you're going to burnish that, burnish those, flip it over, burnish that. Then on the inside, you want to burnish this here too. So you're not going to be able to see this on camera because I'm going to kind of close the card, but I'm running my bone folder over that score line inside the card. So this is what I end up with. Okay, we've got a little square hole in there, a little pop-out piece, and now we can add our letters. So I cut the letters DAD from our large letters framelits dies, and these letters are amazing. I love them. I use them all the time. So I've got DAD that I cut out with those letters and my Big Shot machine, and I'm just going to lay them upside down here on my grid paper. And I'm going to take my liquid glue, and of course you can use whatever you want, but I just like this stuff. And I'm just adding some glue, oh, down here at the bottom of the D. So it's maybe, I may be going up, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch, maybe a half. Get the A. Because you don't want glue any higher than this, because you don't want glue above your folded piece that's in the center of the card. So you don't want to add any glue higher than this line right here. Okay, so I'm going to start with my D, and if you use my dimensions, Dad will fit in here perfectly. So right at the bottom of the score line, right at the edge of the cut line, I'm laying my D. Okay, so right here is the score line, right here is the cut line, and my D is lined up right there on the edge. Okay, I'm going to bring in my A, and I'm going to go pretty close to the D, just, you know, like a normal placement of a letter. Again, right there at the bottom of the score line is the A. My final D will go right next to the A, but I don't want it to go farther than the score line there, or than the cut line, excuse me. So if I bring that in, that's butted up right at the cut line. Okay, and then you can just press that closed to get those letters to stick, and there is your pop-up Dad. Amazing, I know. All right, we're going to bring in our card front, and we're going to glue this in. Again, I'm going to use liquid glue. You can use whatever you want. I'm putting a little bit here on this leg, above the score line, and then just around the remainder of the card. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do the same thing. Down here on this leg, across the score line, and then up around the card. Okay, so I'm pinching it closed here, but I want to make sure that when I put it inside the card, it's going to open the right way. So, oh my gosh, mine would be upside down. Turn it around. Look at it. When it's opened, yay, Dad is right side up. Okay, front of the card, flip open. You just want to drop this in to the score, the middle score line of the card. Just kind of get that lined up. You're eyeballing this basically. So you want it, you know, even distance around that way. Bring it around, even distance. Okay. Then all you have to do is close it. Press it down so it gets a nice good press. Okay, so now we do that and we open it up. It says Dad, yay! So my final touch, or almost final touch, is I want to add a few strips of paper to those edges. And so I cut a couple more strips off that designer series paper that I put on the front. These are like 3/8 of an inch. You, of course, can make yours as wide as you want. So I'm just going to spread some glue down these. Open it up. And then I'm just going to place those right at the edges of the white. And just kind of go across. So they're about even distance from the bottom here. Press that into place. Add some glue to this one here. Okay. Oh, whoops, I didn't really get any on the end there. There we go. Okay, flip that over. Do the same thing, just add it right to the edge of the white. Okay, press that into place. Yay, that is so cool, isn't it? My final touch, I just wanted to add that little tiny nail stamp. In the Nailed It stamp set, you've got some super cute little things. Some nails, a screw head, a nut, and then, of course, these little adorable little faces that you can put on any of these tools. So I'm going to use this, which one? Oh, the nails. Good Lord, I forgot what I was doing. I'm going to use the nails. So I've got the nails here. I've got my Memento black ink. I'm just going to ink those up and just drop them right there. Perfect. And that is it, my friends. So if you need some supplies for your own Happy Father's Day cards, this Nailed It bundle is the bomb. I'm telling you, it's amazing. I will come out with a card showcasing a ton of samples using this bundle. Give me a couple weeks for that, maybe a week and a half, and I'll have all my samples in here, and then I can do a video showing you a ton of samples with this stamp set. It's amazing. Anyway, if you need to order your supplies to create your own Father's Day cards, or anything else for that matter, you can get your supplies at shoppingwithbarb.com. I have a monthly host code on my blog at barbstamps.com, and when you use that host code and your order, with your order, I automatically send you my monthly tutorial via email. If your orders are $50 or more, I always have a little surprise gift that I send you out the following month. So Celebration still going on. Get your celebration items. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. That lets me know that what I'm doing you like, and I will continue doing these things. Subscribe. There's a little subscribe button right here, I believe, on the video. Subscribe so you're notified when I do post new videos. And as always, have a wonderful, wonderful day.